This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience. Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we are going to be reviewing together Rick Owens Women Fall-Winter 2021. In the chronological order in which I've been reviewing fashion shows throughout these fashion weeks, whether it be in Milan or Paris in the past weeks, for the Fall-Winter 2021 season, or in the case of Haute Couture, Spring-Summer 2021, I've decided to take the opportunity to kind of just showcase and co-review with you guys Rick Owens as the last, because it's kind of, you know, Rick always has that down-to-earth take on fashion and on the world. With his own rhythm, with his own tone. You know, he doesn't care about YouTube limits, times, how long a video should be or not be. Don't care about that. It's like, I got something to show and I'm going to show it to you the way I want to show it to you. Okay, so we're going to go to this video. Mind you, the video is taken from Rick Owens' YouTube channel. So it falls under fair use because I shall be reviewing it together with you. However, the music that I will be using for the review of this video is not the same music used in Rick Owens' own video on his YouTube channel, because that music falls under some copyright. So I'm going to use copyright-free music for my version of the video. So apologies for those of you who are huge Rick Owens fans who really want stuff to stay one-to-one how he intended them to be. If I'm going to review this video, I cannot use his music. So obviously, something's got to give. We got to compromise a little here. So bear with me, but it's going to be an interesting travel and journey we're going to go on to. Before we get to the actual review, might I remind you to, if you like my content and keep coming back for more, to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. You can also push the join button next to the subscription button and become a member today. Gain access to extra perks in the Fashion Bunker community. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob all spelled together. And thank you to all my patrons and members who have already pledged. Also, thank you to my co-chatters and co-reviewers who are live with me right now, because this video is being filmed live in front of a virtual studio audience, and you can become a virtual studio audience member as well, because I live stream every Saturday. Just join the live streams and take part in the pre-recordings of my videos where we all get to talk together. So my co-chatters and co-reviewers are ready in the chat section. Let's get straight to the video. Rick Owens, Women, Fall-Winter 2021. Oh yes, it's like like Star Wars should have been filmed. The sequels or the new generation. This feels like Kylo Ren is back, or is it a Jedi walking towards a landing port? This is giving me Jedi vibes meets David Lynch's version of Dune meets a Wes Anderson Twilight Zone episode of Ocean Aquatic with Steve Zissou meets Rick Owens. I love how he utilizes the architecture that's available to him, adds a little bit of smoke and lights, and that's it. Gorgeous. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's moody. But I'm living for this. It's like, here's Rick to save the day with depression, augmentation of depression, feeling depression as if it were an endorphin kick of happiness. There's like always this balancing out with him, which I love. And I love the natural aspect of this. We're at the seaside, the salt in the air, it smells of salt. And they didn't even they color graded this, but they didn't color grade it to pep up the colors. They desaturated it even more. It's making me feel some kind of ways. It also has that futuristic kind of darker version of Space Age. You know, it's like Space Age gone Twilight Zone. Look at those heels. And just like Smoke Bomb at the there he is, Ricky. Smoke bomb at the top of this pier construction, and it just keeps blowing the smoke. Such a simple effect. super low budget at the end of the day. The clothes are not, but the construction of the set, it you know, took whatever's there, made the best out of it, just bought the smoke and the lights, and you're done. Loving this, loving the simplicity and the honesty of it. It's just, oof. Look, they just hang the clothes there. They're styling them as they're getting ready to walk. Oh, I'm living for this naturalism. I mean, naturalism, despite the fact that the clothes are the opposite of it, because they're so overly constructed, and yet in a very alien-esque way, they look so utilitarian and almost like everyday, even though obviously, look at this piece, it's not. It doesn't matter. Rick Owens still makes his dream. He always has the same dream. You know, his dreams are very similar every season. You recognize his pieces from a mile away. But nevertheless, he makes you, look at this, is gorgeous. You guys, I'm loving this. It's like a puffer jacket, but it's with the silhouette, the curves. It's hyper feminine, but also dark. Oh, Rick, I love you. I really, really do. This is so gorgeous. Like the ugliness of beauty and the beauty of ugliness. And those transparent heels, it's like you're float animals, you know, a little bit Marian Peyoski vibes as well from a decade ago. But it's very Rick. Look at these aliens, alien creatures that have landed on Earth. You guys, what can I tell? I'm living for this. I really am. I mean, I would probably, what would I, you know, a lot of these pieces could be unisex, are unisex, but what would I don't think I would be wearing much of it, but just seeing it soothes my soul. The dark parts of my soul, I don't know, it makes me feel good. It relaxes me. Those waves in the background. Look how simple that effect is of the snow, especially from this perspective of the camera. Like, you don't really know where it's coming from because the models cover the origin of it. It's so effective. Such a simple effect, but it's so beautiful. It gives me that apocalyptic vibe, almost as if like these aliens are trying to call back their spaceship to kind of come back to get them. And they keep walking to that place where the spaceship should land, but the spaceship doesn't land, and then they just kind of go back to Earth because it ain't happening. Nobody's coming to get them. They're stuck here, just like we are. They're stuck here forever and ever and ever. It's like the 80s. It's like the 80s gone sick, in a good way sick. It's very sci-fi, but very organic. He does a masterful job at blending synthetics with a feel of naturalism. You know, because most of these pieces, there's a lot of synthetics in them. Acrylic fibers, you know, polyacrylic fibers. Of course, he loves his cottons and the jerseys and wools, but it's a blend of everything, you know, even the heels of the shoes. I mean, the translucent heels, that's plexi as well of some sorts, or resin of some sort. And then these kind of neoprene textiles used for the shoulder pads. Oh, these puffer jackets, or just like capey thing. Look, it looks like a bug. Like the back of a beetle bug or something. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. I mean, it's a vision. There's clear vision here. It's a dreamy, nightmarish atmosphere. And yet it's so beautiful. It's not scary at all. It doesn't feel scary to me. It feels dark. You know, the scary part of it is that it's so repetitive. Typical with Rick Owens. Unless you're not obsessed with his pieces, there's repetition. Everything seems to be repeating over and over and over again. It's like, oh, we just saw this piece. No, he's going to say, no, it's different because this sleeve is like that and stuff like that. But you know what I mean? It's like, okay, actually, you could already finish the show here. But no, this one is going to keep going. This one is going to keep going. He's going to keep showing. He's like, you know, this is what I was saying to you before. He has his rhythm, and he doesn't care if things have to go quicker, and I love him for that. He takes his time. He's like, I got this piece in 15 different colors to show you. And I'm gonna show you this piece in 15 different colors, where the zipper is slightly to the left more than to the right. I'm gonna show it to you because that's a variation. It's so beautiful. Some of these gowns are like so red carpet ready, while others are just ratchet for the club, while others are like, oh, let me just be fabulous while I go to the grocery store. While others are like this, for example, like this kind of, this one is like lockdown board chic. It's like, okay, I'm gonna dress up for myself, feeling my oats. That's a red carpet moment right there. And then, you know, this dude is like, okay, yes, you know, feeling my beetle oats while I go to the garden to pluck some berries. But that little dark, skimpy look with that kind of shoulder coming off, oh, come on, you guys. It's giving me vibes with 4 Z's. And then, you see, and I'm re-seeing the same look. It's like, I want to show it to you again for the 10th time. But that it's, I respect that, and that's why, oh, I touched the mic, sorry guys. I respect that, and that's why I'm not going to cut this video short. We're going to trailblaze through. Look at the proportions, how he plays with the kind of upping the shoulders, the waistline little, and then the tight bottom part. To me, this has vision. It works. Layering all the sweaters. I mean, it's something we haven't seen before, also in the 80s in particular, you know, like wearing the bottom of the sweater on top, having the hole for the head hanging somewhere here. That's nothing new. But I love the fact that he's reutilizing that concept. And look, you see, it almost looks military in a way, how they're like positioned to stand there waiting for some spaceship to arrive to take them back home to their planet. Spoiler alert, as I said before, the spaceship never comes. And I love the fact that they're just doing it for themselves. It's like, you know, they took their 5 racks of clothes and the models with them on a beach somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Like, okay, guys, now you're going to walk, feel your oats. And everybody's like doing it for themselves. You know, there's no audience just to see. This is a pure performance. This to me is performance art. You know, who are they performing for? Yeah, okay, the camera that's ultimately going to show it to us and he's hoping to sell these pieces. But for those people who are there in that moment, they're performing for the sea. They're showing their love and respect to the sea, and the sea is a gorgeous, gorgeous creature. You know, I see the sea and the ocean as like one of the most important creatures of this planet. I see it as its own entity, and it's like all of these people in this weird cult type of manner are kind of paying homage to the sea and are like, I don't know, you know, it's like it's a runway, it's a catwalk for the sea, not for us. And as such, I find it highly poetic and beautiful. Very beautiful. I don't know, it works for me. Oh yes, come on, drone. It's like, you know, they're sending out signals into space. I mean, this is gorgeous. It couldn't be any simpler. Sure, they could take away the lights, but you know what I mean. It could have been just smoke. They literally worked with what they got. This is the best runway. I mean, look, this was there already. That cemented pier walk into the water. It's perfection. I love when you find places like these that were not built for this, but once you use them for this, you feel like, oh, this pier construction was waiting for this to happen. It was like it was built for a fashion moment of a runway. I love when you reinterpret architecture, when you reinterpret something that was meant for something else and you kind of decontextualize it and place it within a completely new context. And you just add these beautiful visions, just walking over it. You know, it's just a moment in time. It's like a poem. Once the show is over, it's over. There's just going to be the memory of this video and then this pier. You know, anybody can go. This is the beautiful thing about it. When they do all these like hyper constructed, you know, show installations for fashion shows, right after the fashion show is done, they deconstruct them immediately. But this is going to be there even after that fashion show is over. The fashion show is over, by the way. But you can still go there, travel to that place, and that catwalk will be waiting for you. And you can run that catwalk as well. I love, that's what dreams are made of. It's like a vision that you've had somewhere from somewhere before, and you're there, and you arrive there, and it's like, whoa, this is the same place where they shot this. And it creates magic to me. Much more magic than constructing something just for the shoot and then deconstructing it and leaving all of a sudden. As much as I love the Chanel shows that Lagerfeld used to make, you know, at the Grand Palais, and creating the huge spaceship and the huge boat, those are moments for photo and video, and then they deconstruct them immediately and you know it's over. But this is different. This is reality. It creates also that feeling inside of you of hyper reality. So as constructed as it is, because those clothes are constructed, and he added the smoke and he added those flashing lights, it's not detrimental. It doesn't take away from the fact that it's hyper real. That place exists in that space and time. Gorgeous. Thumbs up for me. What do you guys think? Candy Fluff says, thank you for sharing, Dacob. Oh, I love that. Emilia says, this is awesome. Big thumbs up. Kira says, bravo, my favorite show to date. Yes, I wanted to end the Fashion Week show reviews with this one, because I think this one, it has it, you know. Hey, Drew, welcome. Welcome, sweetie. Hey, Drew. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Loved it, says Drew. Madame says, I loved everything. Just hated the fog machine because I'm too much of a perfectionist, and I think they meant for the fog to go into the catwalk, but because of the wind, it didn't. OCD. No, actually, no. I don't think they didn't want it to go into the catwalk because they let that to nature. And if it went into the catwalk, you wouldn't have seen the clothes. I think it's so poetic. Think about it. The constructed part, the artificiality of this show, are the clothes that are constructed by man, the lights that are constructed by man, that smoke that's constructed by man, and the pier. Everything else is nature. It's like man is giving to nature. So the pier allows man to walk into water to offer himself to the water. The clothes are made to pay respect to nature. So they're walking into the water and back to show to the sea, look, we love you, and then coming back. The smoke is offered to the sea, and it's kind of floating over the water. It's as if like man is trying to decorate and giving ornaments. You know, like when you put flowers in your hair? That's what I felt. It's like that smoke is like the flowers in the hair of the ocean. And then the lights are created by man to signal into space that something important is happening in this space, because we're trying to concentrate and focus our energy and attention to this time and place, because we're trying to render an energy moment here. So the fact that the smoke was just kind of shifting left to right and floating all over the place is just so beautiful, because the wind, which is a natural factor, the wind decided where it wanted that smoke to go. Man came, constructed the artificial smoke and said, here you go, nature. Here's smoke for you. And then the wind decided how to place those beautiful flowers, smoke, on top of the hair of the ocean. That's how my mind envisions the poetry of this show. So I didn't feel like it had to run over the runway. No, not at all. The perfect accessory for this collection would be lightsabers, says Drew. Yes, very, very, very Star Wars. Miranda says, being by the beach like this reminds me of Bjork's Stonemilker video. Candy Fluff says, it is not a cheap purple. It's a nice purple color. Emilia says, this represents the current times so well. It's reminiscing long gone times, the 80s, mixed with current times and the darkness and gloominess we all feel. Is it the best collection of the year? Probably. It's wonderful. You guys, it's very Rick. It's something we've seen before. It's nothing like groundbreaking, but it hits the nerve. You know, we've seen so many shows. We've seen the Balmains, we've seen the Louis Vuittons, we've seen the Diors, we've seen the Dolce & Gabbanas, the Versaces. We went on a journey together throughout these weeks, watching all of these and reviewing all of these fashion shows. We've seen the COURREGES, the Elsa Schiaparelli, but this this is the one I wanted to kind of experience with you as last, because this is the one that kept it the most real, you know, awkwardly enough, paradoxically enough, because still the clothes are very alien-esque and not so human, but a human mind envisions them. Gloomy and real. It's gorgeous. Got goosebumps. Oh, like that purplish color, says Candy Fluff. Otherworldliness done right, says Letty. Love it. Candy Fluff says, it is not a cheap purple. Yeah, Olfactive Story says, when they have to walk with these shoes in the sand. I know, it's like, it's such a weird balance. But even that looked beautiful, like how they had to kind of balance their walk in the sand. I love when the human body has to interact with nature, with whatever nature gives you. That creates an aesthetic. It's so primordial, and it's immediately an instinct of survival that kicks in. And that instinctive survival mode you go into, for example, just figuring out with your body how to manage to walk across sand. There's something so elegant and beautiful about it, because it's nature that offers you a scenario, the sand, and you react to it and try to make the best of it. And that trying to make the best of it is what makes it so poetic and beautiful to me. So even them walking with those artificial shoes in that natural environment, there's something so beautiful about that tension between the two. MK says, I like Rick Owens' style, but he always designs the same things. Most of my outfits are from 12 years ago, but they still look as relevant as his new designs. Let's say they are timeless. Exactly. That's another beautiful thing. He's not that snob who's going to tell you, well, you know, last season I did the black colors, so this season it's all pink. So if you're wearing black from last season, you're so out, girl. You can layer stuff. You can keep collecting his classic pieces. And the beauty about Rick Owens is also that every season you can just add something on top of what you already have from his, and it never goes out of style, because and Vivienne Westwood does the same, by the way. You have the same with Vivienne Westwood. You could wear her clothes. I wear a lot of her clothes from the 80s. She still keeps making them today. It's wonderful. I love that mentality. That's how you can get close to sustainability. Close to, not fully. Olfactive says, oh yes, that outfit looked like a beetle. It is like realistic sci-fi, says Candy Fluff. Olfactive says Mad Max from space. Cinema Verité, says Miranda. Candy Fluff, it is weird to be excited given the somber mood. LOL. No, it's not weird. I'm excited too. Amina says, oh my God, the huge coats are amazing. Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they? Letty says, OMG, I'm loving the whole vibe of this show. The colors are stunning. My favorite presentation of the season. I love it too. Candy Fluff says, he is a playful one, Rick. He is. OMG, says Kira, in love. Jesus said, of course, Kira, you would be. It's giving us a little bit of that style that you like, doesn't it? A little bit of 9 Inch Nails, too. Looks like something Arca would wear, says Emilio. MK says, Dacob, dumb question. Is it a real setting or a green background? Real setting. And they give you the place at the beginning of the fashion show. It gives you the name, I think, also of the location. Or the name of the collection, which is also the location. Factive Story says, at least they wear masks. Yeah, true. Love the mood of all of this, says Candy Fluff. Factive says, 80s, futuristic a bit. And the apocalypse is coming, says Mr. Philip Fabulous. End of the earth feeling, says Candy Fluff. Luke Skywalker coming in, asks Olfactive Stories. And David is loving it. So you guys, thank you so much for co-reviewing this show with me. I hope you've enjoyed the closing chapter of our Fashion Week. It was a fun ride to go on together. And I thought this was the worthy closing chapter to this really strange Fashion Week that we spent in lockdown. And all of these designers went through extra stress and work to create these wonderful visions for us. You know, they prepared with a lot of love, care, and attention to detail all of these videos to showcase these collections and these visions to us. Yes, some shows we didn't like, some shows we loved, some shows we just said meh to, but ultimately we respected the work that went into all of them, because some love went into these shows, definitely. Sure, there's a need for money, especially the big corporate brands want the money. But there is some artistic direction and vision within all of them, and a lot of love goes into them. So whether you like them or not like them, I give an applause to all of these wonderful brands that went that extra mile to create their presentations despite the fact that they could not showcase fashion shows in front of live audiences seated in the public and watching. But this forced them, this new situation and scenario forced them to be creative in different new ways, utilizing nature and new settings in different new ways, experimenting with ways to film things in ways that would have not even been imaginable 2 or 3 years ago, because they would have just stuck to their classic regular fashion shows with audiences walking with audiences sitting while the models are passing by. Rick tackled this scenario, this setting, in the best of ways, because he was the only one who really went for that nature meets human manipulation of nature in the right way. Really balanced it. It worked in Rick's favor because his style is anyway like that, has been before the lockdown. So Rick was a little bit lucky because it worked in his favor, but he made the best of it with a very low budget. Great job, Rick. So guys, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, but like my content, and thumb up this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about it, and push the join button next to the subscription button and become a member today. And here, be listed in all the names that were scrolling up until now, be listed as my co-producer of the Fashion Bunker live stream show and Fashion Bunker in general. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob, all spelled together on Patreon. Become a patron today. Your name will also be listed here, and you get access to extra perks like, for example, videos that never come to YouTube, or also videos, reruns of all the live streams, extra live streams, pre-shows. That's also valid all for members of Tier 2 category. So guys, until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye. Mwah.